winning is everything to me, and I can sometimes get so deep inside myself, deep inside my game, and deep inside winning that I forget to build relationships with my teammates.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot different than the last 5.5 years in Cincy. Wearing the white jersey, the star on the helmet. It'll be a good change for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
Approach. I played today, not tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because I can't control what happens the next day. So like I said, I took that day, worked my hardest, busted my butt, and just kept going.
Monday Night Football, Cowboys-Raiders. But before we talk about matchups and schemes, this locker room is still processing the loss of Marshawn Kneeland. 3 guys are about to make their Cowboys debut on the biggest regular season stage there is. Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, and Shavean Revel. And instead of just talking about X's and O's, they opened up about grief, relationships, and what it really means to put that star on your helmet. In this video, you're going to hear Quinnen talk about how winning isn't everything, Logan on why you should always check on your people, and Shavon on carrying that if you're a dog mentality from ECU to prime time. Let's start with Quinnen Williams and how this tragedy changed the way he sees the game.
It was unbelievable, man. I always had to take a step back in my career, especially through this tragedy, to always think to myself, winning is everything to me, and I can sometimes get so deep inside myself, deep inside my game, and deep inside winning that I forget to build relationships with my teammates and build relationships with my coaching staff like this. And going through this tragedy with the guys in the organization, with the guys in the locker room, has also kind of made me grow as a human being, as a person too. You're going to win Super Bowls, you're going to win playoff games with the guys that you love next to you. And you can't love nobody next to you if you don't know them. So it definitely taught me a lesson and definitely grew me as a man, as a person. So
this is what hits different about Quinnen's answer. He's one of the most dominant interior linemen in football. He just got traded to Dallas, and instead of talking about sacks or schemes, he's admitting that sometimes he gets so locked in on winning that he forgets to build relationships with the guys next to him. That line right there. You're gonna win Super Bowls and playoff games with the guys you love next to you, and you can't love somebody if you don't know them. That's not just a quote, that's culture. This tragedy forced him to step back, grow as a person, and remember that the why behind football is the people in that locker room, and he's not the only one feeling that. Now you're going to hear from Logan Wilson, another new face, on what it means to show up for your teammates and then put the star on your helmet for the first time.
Yeah, it's definitely, I obviously didn't know Marshawn, but you can see the impact firsthand on what he had on the guys around me now. And so as a new teammate, I'm just trying to honestly be a good teammate, be there for them, whatever they need. I know they don't know me from Adam right now. That's just part of where we're at. And, but I'm going to continue to support them with whatever they need, what they're going through.
A lot of guys have been talking about, hey, let's just check up on each other, because you never know what's going on in a person's life.
Sure.
Is that kind of another wake-up call about life and stuff?
Yeah, and you want to be consistent with it. You don't want it to be like just doing it this week and then it starts to fade off. You know, you just try to be consistent with checking in on your people, and especially these guys around us.
Has football been like, okay, this is a good distraction for us in a sense, you know?
I think so. I think you obviously have to talk to some of the other guys more about that specifically. But I think it just kind of helps guys get their mind on football and not forgetting about him, but moving forward and bringing a light to the situation. And that's kind of the mantra around the team right now.
Just looking ahead to Monday night's matchup, put the star on your helmet. Is that going to be like a surreal moment for you, knowing you're playing for an organization like this?
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot different than the last 5.5 years in Cincy. Wearing the white jersey, the star on the helmet. It'll be a good change for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
Logan comes in mid-season, doesn't know Marshawn personally, but you can hear how heavy the room still is. He's not trying to make it about himself. He's talking about being a good teammate, being there for the guys who actually lived with Marshawn day to day, and making sure this check up on each other thing doesn't just fade after one sad week. That's a big message in any NFL building right now. You never really know what somebody's carrying off the field. And on top of that, he's changing teams, new system, new city, and his first real moment as a Cowboy is going to be under the lights, white jersey, star on the helmet on Monday Night Football. So you've got veterans processing loss, learning a new playbook, and trying to turn all of that into the right kind of energy for prime time. But then there's another layer, a young corner who hasn't played football in a full year, making his debut in the same game, and he's bringing a completely different kind of hunger. That's where Shavean Revel comes in.
Yeah, pretty much I talk to myself, you know what I mean, and I backtrack to, like I said, I like to backtrack, and because my purpose is to help the people, you know what I mean, and I know the job I got is not the hardest thing in the world, so, and I'm looking at my mom and dad, and like I think about them all the time before I step out on that field, take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, and let's get it. You know what I mean? I don't do too much.
And you're going out there to debut, you know, in the NFL as a third-round pick for the Cowboys in prime time. Just how good how good does this feel to set that kind of tone and give that kind of testimony to guys who aren't coming from some of the bigger schools and bigger programs in the nation?
One thing I want to say about that, I feel like, man, if you're a dog, you're a dog. I don't care where you've been. I don't care D1, D2, D3. You're a dog, you're a dog. Go out there with confidence. You know what you can do. You know what I mean? And I came from ECU. So the way I look at it is I don't care where you came from. If you go out there, better bust show. You know what I mean? Keep going, man, for real. It don't matter. Don't listen to the noise outside. You know what I mean? You know what you can do. Do it yourself and be available for yourself. You know?
Shavon's perspective is pure mindset. Before he even steps on the field, he's talking about purpose, about thinking of his mom and dad, about reminding himself that his job isn't the hardest thing in the world, and then just taking a deep breath and going to work. That's a very real pre-game routine for a guy who's been out for a year. And then he drops the line that every overlooked player understands. If you're a dog, you're a dog. I don't care D1, D2, D3. Coming from ECU to the Dallas Cowboys in prime time, that's a statement he's basically telling every small school prospect watching. It's not about the logo on your helmet, it's about your effort and your confidence. So in one locker room for one Monday night, you've got a star defensive tackle learning to value relationships as much as wins, a veteran linebacker preaching consistency in checking on your brothers, and a young corner carrying his family, his journey, and that dog mentality into his very first NFL moment. When you put all of that together, this Monday Night Football matchup is way bigger than just Cowboys versus Raiders. It's a team trying to honor Marshawn Kneeland with the way they play, while three new guys step into the spotlight for the first time in a Dallas uniform. Quinnen Williams chasing dominance with more heart, Logan Wilson locking into a new role while taking care of his teammates, and Shavean Revel proving that if you're a dog, it really doesn't matter where you came from. I want to hear from you. Who do you think is going to make the biggest statement on Monday night? Quinnen, Logan, or Shavon? And do you think this emotional edge actually changes how the Cowboys show up against the Raiders? Drop your answer in the comments, hit like if you felt the honesty in these interviews, and subscribe if you want more NFL content that goes beyond just box scores and highlights. I'll see you in the next one.